Okay. And then I just do this. I'm gonna close this. So this is the only thing that, and then just press view. And then, so, but you want to first call, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. Let me take a picture first. So. Do you want to look?
All right.
There. Here. Oh, I just sit here for a bit. Wait, unlock your phone so I could put it on this there.
Simon's okay. I guess Simon's got to let me in or something. Okay, so Brian says please see attach and read and make corrections. So
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you.
All right, so just make the corrections.
But we'll have to send it to Crystal to make the corrections, right? But look what he changed, because he changed prices.
Well, it's still $5.75. It's just we put it in the wrong places. That's all. Okay, he's saying take the trust money deed because they don't care how you get the deed. They just want you to put 10% down in the balance. Okay, so it's not that bad. Okay, so. Okay. Okay, I'm going to go to Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Be with me.
So I'm gonna take your phone to charge it, because it needs to charge.
And the power of the Holy Ghost. So when people start coming on, what if it's like only 2 people that show up? Still gotta teach it.
I think they posted like on Facebook and stuff. So some people might not be able to get it.
Okay. So I can start talking. See somebody coming in.
Good morning.
Just
Good morning. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Hi, Ina.
Hi. How are you?
Good. Thank you for coming on. Okay. Just waiting for a few more people to come on, and we're gonna get started shortly.
Can you?
I promise I'm gonna have the same energy if it's 2 people, if it's 10 people, it doesn't matter. Okay. Might want to close it up and play it. Yeah. Okay, well, how do I know if it's more than, oh, okay, we got people in. All right, good morning, everybody. I mean, good afternoon, actually, I should say. Thank you all for coming on. I can't really know all the people that's on here because I don't know the Zoom like most people do. But I'm gonna get started. We're gonna talk about how to have a thriving business in this pandemic. My goal here is to just bring more people on board so we can have a really, really good second half of the year. All right. So I going to, how do I do this again?
I need to Holland to disable it. Let me call her.
Okay.
I don't think this is yet.
Can everybody see the screen?
No.
Okay. Let's see if we can get some help with Holland. Say view present. Nobody's seeing the screen.
Yeah, because Holland needs to give you permission
So
to
you see
share.
it? Alan, this share screen is not working.
Okay. All participants, all participants. Now you should be able to. And then we're gonna go to desktop.
Hi.
Hello, welcome.
Thank you, sweetheart. I miss you so much. How are you?
Good, good, good.
Congratulations. Congratulations, Gary.
Thank you, there. Thank you. It's not about me today. It's about talking about everybody.
It's always about us anyway, so we know. Love you.
All right. Okay, so everybody, can everybody see the screen now?
Yep.
Awesome.
Yes.
All right, so we're gonna get started. Once again, I want to thank you all. I hope you stayed through the end. For those of you that stayed through the end, I have a special thing I'm going to do at the end. That's not part of the presentation. So I'll let you know if you hang on with us. Okay. So how to have a thriving business this second half. I really believe in this. I was literally asleep a couple of nights ago, and I'm like, I need to share this. And I'm hoping by sharing it, we all will adopt it and really have a great business. I love to see 20 people doing over 10 million and another 30 people doing over 6 million at least. And I really believe if we all do it this way, we've got an opportunity to do that. Okay, so let's get started. As you all know, I'm a student of Bold. After being on board for 18 times, I think I can say I'm a good student. And one of the things that Bold teaches us is mindset and skills. And it talks about 80% of our work is in our mind. And there's really just 20% the skill, which is kind of funny because the 80-20 principle usually get 20% of activity that give 80% of result. But in our mind is really large, and I believe if we let our mind go, we can, just with a little bit of skill set, which we all have in us, we can get things done, all right? So I believe the human being is really in 3 levels: the mind, the soul, and the body. The mind, how can I see this other part here? Sorry. Okay, thank you. So the mind is where we put things together in our, what we need to do, how we're going to do it. Our soul is where we have our behaviors, the values, the things that we know, that comes from our soul. And the body is really just the organization part. It's where we do the work. So again, we're gonna stay mostly on the mindset. How do we get our mind to shift? Because, like we all been inundated with news about this pandemic, and it's create fear in our mind. And so long as we have that fear, we're not going to be able to go after what we can go after. I want to make sure you guys understand, I'm not saying to be careless. I'm not a careless person at all. But I'm saying don't let the fear overwhelm you to inactivity. So and that's kind of resoluting some stuff in your spirit, in your soul, and then taking action to do stuff. Okay. Yeah. The soul is when we're involved in doing things that are good. When you are doing things that are good, it makes you feel good. And when you feel good and you can pass that on to somebody else, it becomes of a joyful journey. It's not a hardcore. I really believe with this pandemic, where a lot of things are going on, if we can find a space where we enjoy to be a blessing to other people, then when you're doing the work, it doesn't feel like you're doing the work. I make a note that, in anything that we do in life, fear is the enemy of progress. So long as we have fear about what we're doing, fear always leads us to inactivity. It always leads you into inactivity. If you're so afraid of this, you're so afraid of that, you're not going to be able to do anything. And, you know, in bold, we say fear of faith you choose. And it's really, I mean, this is a good time, like any other time, to really put that into action because it's your choice. If you have fear that everything is gonna, you know, something bad is gonna happen to you, well, you're gonna be in inactivity mode. If you have faith that wherever you go, and you have to, we're gonna talk about affirmation a lot today. You have to stay in affirmation mode, and affirmation is speaking into existence what you want to happen for you. And I'm just gonna encourage you guys to stay in that space where you are in faith, believing that all is going to be well around you. Let me just use an example that I've carried on. Literally all of my life, no matter what car I've driven, I've always believed that nobody's gonna touch my car. Now, if I go back 35 years ago, I used to live by USC. If anybody know USC area, you know, Vermont and King Boulevard, that area of town, that was a pretty dangerous area 35, 40 years ago. And I used to live in this apartment building where literally all the young people like myself that live in there, their car has been broken into. So everybody have, you know, red snapper, they got all kind of alarm on their car, and their car still get jacked up. Now, I used to drive this yellow Datsun at that time, and that car, I don't lock it half of the time. Nobody broke into that car. In the same building that everybody else cars get broken into, because my faith is nobody is gonna touch my stuff. Now, I think I'm a pretty friendly guy, so most of the hoodlums in the area, I talk to them, you know, at any given time. However, I was in that apartment for like 2 or 3 years and nobody broke into my car. I remember a good friend of mine that lived in the same building that his car got broke into like 3 different times, and he's got all these alarms on it. So it's really the faith that I confess, and I've carried that on. I recently, last year, I took over driving my wife's Mercedes Benz, and she told me, she said, you know, honey, you're gonna be locking this car, you know, always, right? I said, well, I'm still gonna be who I am. So one day, my car, I got up to come to work and my car was gone. And she was so quick to let me know, okay, this is what I'm telling you, that your car, like anybody else, your car can be taken. I'm like, that's interesting. So I had to catch a Uber to come to work that day. And a few hours down the road, after I've called the police, report, you know, missing car and all that stuff, I got a call from Mercedes-Benz that my car is in their service drive, and they want to know, am I trying to get service done? Up till today, we don't know what happened with that car, but how it got there. It looked like Mercedes was trying to tow somebody's car, and they mistakenly towed my car. And luckily for them, I didn't lock the door, so they just had to open it up and get access to it. But my point is, that car was still not broken into. I don't remember how many times I go to Compton and nothing gets touched, because I have the faith that my car was not gonna be touched, okay? So it's really whatever energy that comes from you that you get. Whatever energy, if you tell the pandemic is not gonna affect you, I really believe it's not going to affect you. If you are fearful that this thing may touch you, it may do this to you, then you hold yourself up from doing anything. And I just want to encourage you guys, as we're going into the second half of this year, let us make a choice to walk in faith. Let us believe that nothing is going to come near our way, and let us confess that, you know, in board, we'll talk about affirmation a lot. Let's do that and we will get what we say. All right, moving on. The body, this is where we just need a little discipline to say we're gonna do something. You know, I think Cody Gibson used to say in bold that, you know, anything can work and nothing will work. Anything, you know, any doing that you do can work, but if you do nothing, nothing will get you no result. So if we just stay in the place of saying we are, you know, real estate is a contact sport. It really does require you to contact somebody. If you're playing football and you're just running and there's nobody in front of you to tackle you, that's not football. It's not a contact sport. And that's where we are with real estate. We need to be calling somebody at any given time. If you're just waiting, even though if you have the best marketing program, and some people do, I get that, but you still gotta recognize it's a contact sport. You've gotta be making contact with somebody in order for that person, for you to get that person's business. If you're just waiting for the phone to ring, you may get some business, but it will be a limited amount of business that you can get. So, and there's no better time if we're to put the mind, the soul, and the body together. There's no better time like now to do that, because first you make contact. Two, you can make a care contact, and we'll talk about the scripts that you can use. Really simple script that you can use to making contact with people, and then the magic happens from there. All right. Okay. So when we keep these three things in perspective, the mind, the soul, the body, the knowing that we make up our mind that we want to do something, we are purposeful in it. And then the strategy is doing something that affects your soul. Making a call to your past clients, to your friends, to your people in your database. I mean, I've made calls to people in my database that I don't know how they got into my database, you know, but I make the call and I say, listen, I just wanted to call everybody I have down and wish them safe. And beautiful conversation has started from that. And you just kind of put it at the end like, hey, because I'm in real estate, is there any question you have about real estate I can answer for you? And I just can tell you how, you know, this year has been for me on those conversations, because I made up my mind that I was going to make the call. I make the call that connect with people. And because I am in the, and I'm asking, making it purposeful where I'm asking for business at the end, but business is at the very tail end. You really make the call to talk to people, your past clients, your sphere. I don't care, anybody. You can be calling your neighborhood and say, hi, this is, introduce yourself that you're in real estate, but the call is to see how you're doing. I just great things happen, because even when I'm calling my database, even when they're not home, I leave the message, and the message is so nicely left that I will get a call 3 days later from somebody else and say, hey, Gerry, so person told me to call you. And I remember that person, I didn't talk to that person the last time. It was just a message I left for them. And just a message got them to make you more conscious in their mind. And now a referral came through that. Well, it looked like I'm going to move kind of fast. I thought I was going to be halfway into this. So if anybody have questions, please, I guess, put it in the chat, you know, so I can answer questions at the end. Okay. So pandemic lessons. history shows us lessons to learn from previous pandemic. Now, there's nothing in our lifetime like this one, right? Really, there's nothing I can think of in a lifetime. But the good book tells me some stuff about the pandemic times. And you're either gonna get caught up with it, with the news, and which is something we've been taught in bold. So, you know, you wanna pick up a little bit of news, but don't let the news consume you. When it consumes you, it drains your energy out. What I would recommend is to listen to your inner self. This is a good time to meditate. If you're not, you know, somebody that has a relationship with the upper God, whatever. If you meditate yourself, there are some messages that you will get within yourself. Like I was asleep, half awake when I was meditating, and I said, you know what, you need to share these things with your co-agents and see who you can move forward to having a great business. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go do that. That's what meditating does. Is if you can just keep silent with yourself and focus on your inner thought, information will come to you, and then just get up and go do it. This is because this is an unusual kind of shift in the market, so to speak. You need to be prayerful. Now, I say prayerful. If you guys know me very well, you know, I believe in prayer, so I'm not going to take that out. However, it's really just speaking affirmations to yourself and to your environment. Wake up every day and say, you know, no coronavirus is not going to come your way. No coronavirus is going to affect you or your family. You get what you say. You know, I mean, if there was a creation on this earth, the creation says, let there be light, and there was light. You know, let there be water, and there was, you know, there was water, there was sea. Whatever that is, what we say with our mouth is what we get. If you say, I'm a great salesperson, I'm going to connect with great people today, you have that opportunity to do that. And if we just start our day with speaking this great affirmation to ourselves and to your environment, for those of us that have family, you know, speak it to your family, that nothing will come near them. And I really believe you will have what you say. And because this thing is ongoing all the time, if you guys come to my office, you'll see on my door, I have a paper of affirmation in there. I have the same paper of affirmation in my home, in my daughter. I mean, I have a daughter that's, you know, what do you call it? Somebody that doesn't have a strong immune system. And yet she's smiling and walking around the house happy. I mean, we're not taking her out. Again, with you'll be cautious, you know, listen to the words of the government. That's why you listen to a little bit of news, but not too much that it damage your spirit. Just a little bit of it, like, okay, this is what's going on. This is what you need to do. But go about doing what you do like you normally do it, and great things will come from there. Okay. Now, taking action. Call people you know to wish them well, and then ask for real estate business. What I've kind of put it into, I mean, I still make some cold calls, you know, on Mondays, you know, sometimes on Tuesday. But what I try to do is at least, even on the days I make my cold calls, you know, I do my 20 contacts easily with cold calls for whatever reason. I'm sure you all know that. If you're making cold call, you know, 20 contacts, you can breeze through it pretty quick. When you're calling your database or your sphere, it takes a little bit more conversations, you know. But the cold call at that so that you can still get new business. But the real great calls I mean, I can look back at this year with all the 40 plus businesses that we've drawn so far. Most of them came from connecting with people I know. A lot of referrals have come from those people. So I have it down 10, 10 or 5, 5. Make a choice. In these next 30 days, if you all can get with me on that and say in these next 30 days, after the 4th of July vacation that we all take, and you come back and say, okay, either stay in the 10 non-people you know and 10 people you know, or the 5 people you know you don't know and the 5 you know. Make a determination in these next 30 days, you're gonna do that. Now in bold, we were taught that it takes 66 days for us to get into a habit. And I believe bold is coming up again, so you're gonna need to do 20 calls. I just want us to focus on those 5 and those 10 of those people you know, and just have that conversation. Hi, this is Gerry Nix with Keller Williams Realty. How are you today? Oh, whatever they say. How is your family with all this going on? Are you guys staying safe? And you know, people will tell you, oh, thank you, blah blah, you know, and say, you know, are you, you know, and I will always give them advice. What I'm just sharing with you guys right now is, listen, I know with all this going on, all I can do is recommend to you that you speak life to yourself and to your environment. And I believe if you do that, things are going to be better for you. And when I'm done with that, you just feel the soul connection. So in my database, I have a lot of people, and I'm trying to get a lot of connected people, right? And so many people that were not connected during this time, I'm getting them where I'm now tagging them as connected, because I felt that conversation where it went. And then at the end, I'm like, listen, you know, because I'm in real estate, is there any question you have regarding the real estate market now? Do you have any questions about buying a home, selling a home, or even investing into this market? And then you get another conversation like, oh, really, is still possible to buy? Oh, do you think the market is going to go down? Boom. Now you have a conversation. Now you have somebody, you know, that you cut up. And then you can set up an appointment and move on to the next call. So just if we just all decide on that, then these next 30 days after 4th of July, July 6th or whatever we come back, that if we're gonna do 10 or 10, if you have, here's what I want to guarantee you. If you say, Gerry, I like to do 10 million in sales, or I need to do at least 6 million in sales. If you wanna do 10 million in sales, I'm gonna recommend you do the 10-10. You do 10 non-knowing people and you do 10 people you know every day. And if you on the other hand say, okay, if I do $6 million in sales, you know, that's still like $100,000, right? Do the 5-5, but know that you make a decision and your decision is causing you to either do the 10-10 or do the 5-5. Now, if you've already made $6 million already, great. Let's go make another 10 million. If you've already made 3 million now, let's go make another 6 million. Whatever that may be, I really believe we can all achieve it, and we can get there together. So in the end, I believe if we do all of this, we are going to have a great business. And I love to see my KW South Bay family. I want to see everybody doing great. And I just wanted to show you, this is what I have done in these last 6 months. And, you know, some blessings have come from that. And I really want to see everybody do the same and get the business they want. You all deserve it, don't you? How do I take this back off the screen so I can go back to mine?
Mm,
Okay. Should I be the one in the middle?
no, that's it.
Okay. All right. Well, that's all I have to say. I thought I have 30 minutes. It's not a whole lot. So I hope if there's anybody have anything on chat, I just want to see where the chat message. Sorry, guys. I need some help with this stuff.
Or they could just unmute themselves. No, there's nothing on the chat. Oh,
Okay. All right. Okay. Does
Thank
anybody?
you, Gerry.
Mhm. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure. Pleasure. Anybody have any questions I can answer?
Yes, I do. How do you approach people that they say that they have concern about going out, checking out properties due to the coronavirus? How do you overcome that objection?
Okay, that's a very good one. Thank you. Really easy. To overcome a rejection, you want to ask them, deeper questions. What concerns you about going out? I don't want to contact coronavirus while I'm going out. Okay, well, that's a good question. The California Association of Realtors have some rules in place to keep you safe. Matter of fact, we're gonna send you a form for you to sign, which is telling you that you need to be, put on your mask, if you want your gloves, if you're gonna be touching anything, you need to have your gloves on. And if you do that, you should have no problem anywhere you go, all right? Mm-hmm. So you just make them, know where's safety with them. And if they don't wanna work, some drivers, some buyers that take out, like, okay, you wanna drive your car, behind me? Some, if they feel comfortable, like, are you comfortable? Can you be next to me? I'm not gonna put a mask on in my car. If you want, you can put yours on. We're not gonna touch each other. So you just find out where people are in their space. Everybody's different in their reaction. I have a seller I went to go do a listing presentation. I went there, I had my mask on. They said, Gerry, if you're gonna come in, you're gonna have to take your mask off. I said, yes, ma'am. I took it off. We sat down, 2 feet apart, and we talked, and we were able to get into business. Other people, you go in there like, no, don't come into my place. I remember this old man like, oh, you need to put on your mask. You need to put on your glove. You need to do this. You need to put on a booty, to come into my house. Just know where people are in their space and deal with them with that.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else? Okay, so I ask you that if you stay to the end, I have a special thing I want to share with you. And that's really simple. I love this office and I love everybody that's part of it. So what I've done in my house, with my staff, I'm gonna do that with you guys. So I'm gonna ask for everybody that can. I'm going to pray, okay? I believe in prayer. I believe prayer is what takes people out of their space. And so if you don't believe in prayer, you can check out, okay? And others that is okay with that, because I understand we're in a world where people don't think prayer matters. But I believe with all of the science activity that's going on, these scientists this and scientists that, I really believe if we pray, we'll be in a better place. All right. So here I go. Father God, I thank you. I just bless you for all of my co-agents. I not only bless them, I send a blessing to every household that's of South Bay. I pray, oh God, that this pandemic would not affect any one of us in any negative manner. I pray it distances itself away from us. And even for those who are affected by it, I pray, Lord, you will keep their body whole and this thing will not take them out. I pray an envelope of prayer over all of our agents, their family, their household, that they will remain safe during this time. Now, Lord, I just ask that you will impart into every heart courage to believe that they can achieve their very best, even in these trying times. I ask you will give us faith to move forward and not be crippled by fear. Let us do this, I pray in the name of your Son, and for all those who agree, say amen.
Amen.
Amen. All right, thank you, folks. You all have an amazing, amazing day. Enjoy your 4th of July. Let's all come back and kill it. I really mean it, that we can kill it together.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you, Gerry.
Thank you, Gary.
Thank you, Gary. Love you.
Thank you. Have a good day, all.
Look at all these ladies, Gary. Okay, bye. Happy 4th.
Happy 4th, everybody.